Das Ding auch mal aus der Hand eigentlich oder schläfst du das? Good day. We were supposed to come yesterday. He didn't come at all. We had a big day planned.
He's new friend. Because
Женечка, we're actually discussing the scenario. Yeah, so we're starting about 10 minutes. We're just we're ready.
together outside, prepared for inside.
Yeah, but
Wow.
It's nice, it's wonderful.
But it wouldn't fit inside, right?
I'm not surprised by the amount of people. But this has been fantastic news for us. Can I give you a very brief introduction of what we're doing here?
Yes, please.
So I'm originally
Well, ladies, do not speak German. So.
I've heard the story many times, but
Okay. Oh, yeah.
well, I'm like retelling it to people, but of course, please share.
one of our very, very first guests. So we're originally from Switzerland, but we had a long-standing cooperation with Gogolfest in Kiev, and they were good friends of ours, and we were in Mariupol twice last year, and when the war happened, it was just a very personal thing for me too. And then we did a couple of things with Deutsches Theater and the usual like waving flags, and after that we realized it's just not enough. And luckily we got much back from this kind of cooperation, inspiration, of your energy, your boldness, and decisiveness.
Thank you. What's the artistic story of that? Because I learned from Kiev murals that they're very political.
Yes, of course.
What is the artistic side of that?
Well, it is still a bit political because, I mean, we couldn't just give the wall to the artists and tell them to print. So we still had this, frame, and this is a political frame, but we wanted to talk more about the future, about the actual war. Also because we are in the neighborhood here and in the other cities we're working, so we cannot just do the violence. How do you talk about the war without showing the violence, without weapons, without the struggle and so on? So that was really quite a difficult challenge for them to go through. So we decided to focus on the future more than on the actual situation. And they really did a great job because, we talk about those, democratic values that we want to share, about the unity of Ukraine and Europe. And also, it is a challenge to do that not in a very, straight way, because otherwise it's going to be boring or very, on the surface. So you really need to go deeper. So they had a bit of a frame, to work with, and it was not easy. And also because it's so many people who are involved from different sides, like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ukrainian Institute, and then behind the Hotel Continental there is also the owner of the building, and everybody should like it at the end. So it is always a kind of a negotiation that artists, to be honest, really hate, but what can you do? You really need to, to find that solution, to have that dialogue on the way, and so we have, and I cannot say that it's kind of compromise. I don't think so. I look at it like a third solution, because the artist has an idea, and then the ministry has their idea, and then everybody really has to say the words, and then the artists need to not lose themselves in that,
But honestly, considering how complex it was and how many stakeholders are in the game, it was probably easy in the end. And I've been with the artists
because
every day.
I see artists were very easygoing. They were like, okay.
Really bonded. They really liked each other a lot. And in the end, it was sort of this fairy tale thing that if it works out well, everybody gains. They're like Dennis said I would never have done it that way, so it's great.
Are there many murals in Berlin?
Yes, Berlin is very much a graffiti place, but like such type of thing, not that many, more like this trashy type of thing. But yeah, it's there's a
Well,
certain
but not everything is tacheles anymore.
exactly. Tacheles is completely gentrified anyway.
Oh, really? So they just stick it
No,
to
I
the
just
wall?
remembered that.
We have this wall history of this Brandwände. These walls were actually mean that the building goes on, and after the war they didn't really rebuild it. So we have enormous lot of them. And yeah, also we have this story of gentrification. Why don't we start? Yeah, I'm gonna get in.
Символ демократії. Порішала. Якось не писала.
So, I'm starting. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Laskavo prosimo, welcome, willkommen at Hotel Continental Art Space in Exile. My name is Thank you. My name is Christine Disman and I'm running this place. And this sunny afternoon, I'm very happy to celebrate together with you a truly visionary project. A project that is the antithesis to the current ongoings in the world. We are all aware the happy times of post-Cold War Europe is over. There are new, after the wall came down, this is a time that Berliners remember as a very special time, a time when the cry for freedom seemed to be irresistible throughout the world. And only a couple of days ago, I realized that the Berlin Wall, this symbol of a separated world in between two systems, ran actually right behind the place where we stand now, Hotel Continental, in the former piano factory. So the wall fell, and for quite some time we like to believe that this was it. Unfortunately, today we know better. Today we are facing a new era of conflict, of new walls being erected, of new walls separating the world into nations, countries, neighbors, even among families. But we keep forgetting that a wall is actually an innocent piece of material. A wall, it's up to us what we make of the wall. A wall can be dividing people, a wall can embrace people, include people, and protect those who seek shelter. And so, this afternoon, I'm immensely proud and happy to be host of a project that is created in the spirit of cooperation and peacemaking and trust and friendship. The name of the piece that you see is The Flower of Democracy, and I really wish that this is a very strong signal to the world that a wall can be interpreted in different terms. I'm also very happy to welcome Mr. Олексій Макєєв, the new ambassador of Ukraine, among us, because I think this is also a strong signal that this symbol is not just a piece of amazing art, it's a piece of cultural diplomacy that's even more important than ever before in our times. Dear Mr. Makyev, could you please join me on the stage and have a word to the audience?
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be here today in Berlin. And you know, after a few weeks after arriving to Germany, just at this very moment, I realized that I feel home. Because when I walk down the road from my office to my flat in Kiev, I pass, I think, 4 or 5 murals, as this one. So it looks very familiar to me. Second point, I know that the name of the project, The Wall, would mean slightly different things to the citizens of this very city. The wall which made a division between Germans and between the inhabitants of this city. But I know definitely that actually art is something which might protect us, because behind this mural there is a wall. And you know that many such walls in the residential houses in whole Ukraine are being destroyed every day. So this mural here in Berlin is those murals back in Mariupol, in Chernihiv, in Kherson, in Dnipro, in Zaporizhia. They are protecting Ukraine, Ukrainian houses, Ukrainian people. I feel also home because I know what the wall means for this city. And I still remember I've been here in the neighborhood in summer 1990 when Roger Waters performed The Wall in the Potsdamer Platz, which was at that moment without any Sony Center or Die Bahn building. What I definitely know that those walls that we try to build to protect the good from evil are important. We need them, and we can build those walls to protect only together. After we win this war, the walls will be torn down, as Pink Floyd sings in the very last song of this album. And I appreciate very much that you are here, and I call on you to pay tribute, respect to all those artists, musicians, singers who perform in the name of Ukraine. Because I'm absolutely sure those singers, artists, performers are better ambassadors than myself, because you would look at their pieces of art and you will enjoy them for years and years to come. Thank you for coming here, and let the art protect the walls.
Thank you, Mr. Makyev. I would also like to promise you, you see, we have another wall, and yesterday Kate Taylor and me developed the idea that this wall will be painted when Ukraine has won the war, which will definitely happen at some point, and this is what we all work for. Kate, please join me on the stage, and I would also like to ask Andrій Kальков and Denніс Шустер to come here. These are the artists who spent the last 6 days on their little lifting machines. It's actually big lifting machines, worked mostly days, sometimes at night, and I'm very happy to be with you in this place now.
Hi. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm not here for the first time. We did the project, The Captured House, several months before, and when we came here the first time, the space was just starting the journey. And we saw this wall, and I told Christine, just keep it for me. It was a joke, because we had no idea we were going to come back and this can happen, and that the project can happen that soon. Also because projects doesn't happen by themselves, and they don't happen like easy. So it's always a lot of people behind it. And I really want to thank the Ukrainian Institute, who was initiator of the project, my board agency team, who was involved every day for the last 3 months. Of course, every artist who did that, because not only Dennis and Andrei, who worked really hard here, but there are another eight people who are gonna perform with us in other 4 cities. The Minister of the Foreign Affairs, of course, and everybody else who will be mentioned by Christine later. But what I want to say that I'm really in love with this project, like with every project that I do. And
it's amazing how the idea, the concept grow, and it has its own life. And like the wall, really, I had my own interpretations of it, how I see it. And for me, first of all, the wall was the wall between Ukraine and the rest of the world. Actually, the wall that keeps the peace for the rest of Europe. But every one of you really has its own interpretation, and it's amazing because it has so many meanings, depending of like your level of education, your background, and your own cultural journey. And here we are today to celebrate the project that is actually going across Europe. We was hoping that Berlin will be the first city, but Vienna, we already did Vienna this week. And we are going to Ankara, to Geneva, and to Marseille to talk about Ukraine, to talk about democracy, unity. Those are values actually that we share with Europe. And it's amazing how it works, because every time is this collaboration between Ukrainian and European or other artists. For example, we have a Brazilian artist in the project and a Turkish artist. And it's very interesting how actually it works together, because usually the artists don't know each other. So in this case, in our Berlin case, it's a match. It's just a perfect match. It's amazing collaboration. And it doesn't work always like that, because, of course, everybody has their own idea how the art piece should look. But in this particular case, we had an amazing journey. I don't know how you guys did. You will tell us in a minute. But for us, we saw how it really getting along together, and this has been amazing. So I want to thank you for that, and I want to present you both of the guys for you to know who is who. This is Dennis Dexter the White. Everybody in Berlin knows him, and Ukrainian artist Anдрій Кальков. And I really want to ask you a couple of questions about your collaboration, starting from the very beginning, because everybody asks me, how does it work? How does it work? How did it happen? Because each of you really has their own ideas. So let's start from you, Dennis.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming, first of all. Yeah, I mean, everybody who works in the creative field knows how hard it can be to collaborate with other people. But if you get rid of your ego and really like share the idea with another person, there's something happening that you usually don't do, and this can like be really a magic moment. And with Andrei, it was pretty easy to work, and we had from the very beginning we had like a similar approach, I think, to the project. And yeah, we sent sketches back and forth, and it was super easy to work with Andrei. And also working here on the wall, like it's actually very hard work to create a mural like this. And yeah, this guy is a machine. He worked like for 10-12 hours each day, and yeah, I'm happy to share this piece of art with you.
Hello everyone. I'm very pleased to be here. I think we have a huge project and with a very good result. Thank you, Dennis. You're a lucky guy. Me too. I'm happy that I'm here, and in this little time I'm here, I have a feeling that we have all become a great family. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, operator Ryan and Moritz. I'm very happy. And tired a little bit. Sorry.
Can I also ask you a little bit, just a couple of words about the concept of the work?
So in the center, I painted this cubistic flower, like kind of a sunflower somehow. And in all these little panels you see in this flower, you see the values and yeah, the values about democracy. For example, you see the mouse in the middle, which is a symbol for freedom of speech. You see a book on the top left, which is a symbol for the right for education. You see broken chains on the right, which is a symbol for free trials. Then you see, for example, gender equality. You see an W and an E, which is like a symbol for West and East, but if you combine it, it's we are together in this. You see, what else? You see like a palette of an artist, which is a symbol for the freedom of the freedom of expression. Yeah, and so on and so on. So there's plenty of little elements to discover that all describe, democracy in general.
My part of composition is like abstract futuristic landscape, and the main idea it's like an inner world, a world of our mind, and the main idea to find something and share it, to find something beautiful and share it with other people as more as we can.
Thank you.
Dear Kate, I forgot to introduce actually who you are. I'm very sorry. Kate Taylor is the curator of Port Agency, who is one of the cultural institutions in Ukraine. And I'm very proud and excited that you actually work with us. And I don't have a third hand, but this is for you. And would you pass on, please, to the artists? These are the sunflowers that I want you to take home. Sorry, I didn't manage to take the paper off because it was making too much noise. So, thank you very much for this cooperation. We had an amazing week. I would like to ask, yes, give them an applause. They're brave and courageous people. Thank you very much. I would like to ask the German colleague of Kate on the stage, Herr Klaus Biesenbach, I hope it's the right. Are you there? He's there. I'm very sorry that I was kind of just joking around. There you are. Welcome.
Thank you. I think after so many speeches, I will be very, very short. I think in the interest of the artist being tired after getting this done. I was the director of the Museum of Contemporary Art in Los Angeles before I came to Berlin. I came to Berlin in January this year. The war happened in February this year. For all of us, I think all of you, but I do think for all of us, the war was such a trauma. And when you talk about the war in Germany, and people think, oh, the gas prices are high or whatever, I always think about everybody who's still there, and everybody who lost their home and their loved ones, and who doesn't know where their loved ones are. What can art do? Art is not political. Where I'm from, the last couple of years, I'm actually German born, but in Los Angeles, art is really far from politics. But in February, when this happened, we basically gathered all at National Gallery, the German National Gallery on Potsdamer Straße, and we said we're not going to leave for 36 hours. And we basically slept at the gallery. We took the Archipenkos, the sculptures, up from the collection, and what's interesting, the label said Archipenko, Russian artist, born in Russia. Archipenko was born in Kiev and he spent his formative years and very productive years in Kiev. Just such a label like this. So we put, you said, did you show Russian artists? Did you show Ukrainian artists? Yes, we showed Ukrainian artists. And we had more than 7,000 people who gathered that weekend for Ukraine, making a museum a political space for everybody to arrive. And we collected a lot of money and we gave it to Be an Angel. Be an Angel is a group of artists that bring refugees to Germany. They brought more than 14,000 refugees now. And I think that's a tiny, tiny part. But art can do something, and artists can do something. So I'm really grateful that you're doing this and the whole organization around it. But I want to mention one artist. Maria Kulikovska is an artist, Ukrainian artist, who in 2014, when Crimea got annexed, she lay herself in front of the International Biennial in St. Petersburg. Just imagine you do this. Crimea gets annexed, and you as an artist do something like this. She got banned from Russia. There she was a persona non grata. Now what happens? We invited her for this piece, and she put herself, she had just given birth. She brought her 4-week-old baby. She brought her mom and dad, who had just fled Ukraine. So they all camped out at National Gallery. And of course, without the baby, her mom took the baby, the grandma. She lay herself every full hour on the stairs of National Gallery. Wrapped in a Ukrainian flag, there she was on the ground. And the first day, I helped her. I said, I'll be your guard. Because people would just go too close or step onto the flag, or they had no respect. And it was so important to make sure people feel how exposed, how vulnerable she is as a mother of a young kid lying on the floor. So she did this for a whole month. So that shows actually what the endurance of people are, what the endurance of artists are. We share a couple of common friends that are politicians, artists, people of public importance in this country. And I know they went alone and stood in front of Marsha as she was totally vulnerable as an artist. And that's the power of art. And that's why we're all here. And I thank everybody. And I thank especially you for doing this. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you another comment. I don't want to spoil the artistic idea behind it, but Kate just said art is a power of interpretation. You see different things in a painting. So this is a flower of democracy, and democracy needs to be protected. And when I approached this mural, I saw those broken chains, which, according to the artist, means that you cannot go into jail if you did not commit any crime. So you are protected by the law. I see in those chains, and I want to call on all Ukrainians present here, the Germans present here, who follow this recent trend, to explain to the people that chains might also, those broken chains might also mean unchaining the leopards. And we need them to protect democracy. So please interpret it whatever and however you want, but unchaining the leopards is also something which would help Ukrainians to protect ourselves and protect Europe. Thank you very much. Danke Deutschland. Slava Ukraini.
Thank you so much. I'm sure these words will be heard by the right people, or I hope at least. Before we start getting inside, having some music and some champagne and warm up again, I would like to ask Eva Jakubowska to the stage. She's the board member of Vice Berlin, and she helped us enormously to get all these people here. Thank you.
Thank you. Slava Ukraini. So I'm totally agree with our ambassador that the peace, and how we told in this all the time in our demonstration, that the peace must be protected. It's some fragile concept which should be protected by arm. Unfortunately, this is the time when we need to respect and not take the peace as for granted. When I came here, I was like, I was staring at this and understanding that it reminds me about this famous quotation by Леся Українка: "Я жива, я маю в серці те, що не вмирає." I'm alive, I have in my heart something which is never die. And the same goes to Ukraine and to Ukrainian culture. Culture itself is very powerful. That's why culture space become to be a target point for Russian military. They're destroying step by step museums, art space, theater, etc. How we can protect this? We can protect this by being loud. That's what we are doing with Vicha. That's what we are doing with all of you who are coming to each culture or activist event and be loud. Because right now, Russia in this war against Ukraine, against all democratic values which we have represented here, they're trying to take it from us. They're trying to make us powerless. But it's not true. We are powerful. We are powerful when we are together. And we see here in this art the same, that it's the time to be united, to protect this peace by being loud, by supporting each other, by supporting Ukraine, which are fighting for our lives and futures. Thank you.
Thank you, Yeva, for these wonderful final words. I will not add anything because this is the perfect moment to have some champagne together, to inaugurate this wonderful moment, this wonderful piece of art, and have some music together and just spend the rest of the afternoon together. Thank you very much for coming.
Привіт, мене звуть Андрій Кальков, я художник з міста Луцьк, Україна. В цій сцені ви бачите результат колаборації спільної роботи з місцевим художником Деннісом Декстером. Він досить відомий мураліст. Робота називається «Квітка демократії». І квітка – це його частина роботи, а моя частина роботи – це абстрактний пейзаж, який символізує наш внутрішній світ. І головна ідея, щоб ми знаходили всередині щось позитивне, щось приємне, чим ми зможемо поділитися з рештою людей. Чи наш посол тікає?